This is the CYCROWN Electric Bike, and I have to say, I've been waiting to get my hands on a bike like this for a while. Now that it's right here in front of me, I'm both impressed and, quite honestly, a little intimidated by its powerful design. It has a bold, sturdy, and rugged look that screams adventure. When you first glance at it, the thing that grabs your attention is the 20-inch fat tires. They're massive. They look like they're built to crush anything in their path, from uneven city roads to rocky trails. The frame has a vintage motorcycle-inspired aesthetic that's not just stylish, but also feels incredibly strong. You can tell it's made to handle some serious riding, whether that's your daily commute or venturing off-road. The black finish gives it a sleek, modern vibe, but there's a toughness to it that feels genuinely practical. When I first got on this bike, it was hard to ignore how well built it feels. The aluminum frame is lightweight for something in its category, yet it remains solid and dependable. I could feel the quality in every touch point, from the handlebars to the seat, which, by the way, is exceptionally comfortable compared to other bikes I've tried. I immediately liked how the design balances comfort and durability, a rare combo for bikes that often lean too far into one feature over the other. From the moment I started using it, the riding experience was noticeably smooth. The standout features for me are the 750W brushless motor and dual suspension system. For anyone who's not familiar, a brushless motor gives you power that's quiet and efficient. Riding this bike feels like a whole new experience compared to traditional bikes or even lower-powered e-bikes I've tested before. This motor doesn't just help you cruise. It lets you tackle steep hills and rough terrain with a surprising sense of ease. The motor delivers up to 60 nanometer torque, which sounds technical, but it basically means you've got more than enough strength to handle challenging rides like gravel or snowy roads. Its 20 miles per hour top speed feels just right for a mix of safety and thrill. I didn't feel like I was sacrificing control at higher speeds, which is something I've struggled with on other electric bikes. The dual suspension really takes this bike to another level. The front hydraulic damping paired with the oil spring rear shock means that bumps and potholes don't feel as harsh. This suspension helps absorb the shocks, so you're not left with tired arms or an aching back after a long ride. Riding on uneven trails actually felt smooth, and even when I took it out on some rougher roads on purpose, I noticed how stable I felt. One thing I appreciated was how the suspension improves balance and grip, which is especially helpful for someone like me who switches between city and off-road riding often. The battery on the CYCROWN is something worth talking about too. It uses a 374.4-watt lithium battery with UL certification. If you're unfamiliar, UL certification ensures safety and reliability, so I felt confident charging it indoors. In my experience, the battery life is impressive. On a single charge, I could go anywhere between 38 to 55 miles, depending on how much I leaned on the motor assistance. It's worth noting that the battery is also IPX4 waterproof, which means it holds up well in light rain or damp conditions. What I enjoy most about this bike are the small but significant touches that make riding safer and more enjoyable. The reflective design on the bike offers great visibility if you're riding at low light or at night. Also, the lighting system is top-notch. And those turn signals are a fantastic addition for anyone who spends time riding in urban areas. It's rare to see that level of detail in bikes these days, and I found it genuinely useful for ensuring I'm seen by both cars and pedestrians. The disc brakes, both on the front and rear, deserve special mention too. They're super responsive, and while I haven't relied on them in a real emergency, just testing them out made me feel safe and in control. That braking system really instills confidence, especially on descents or tricky pathways. Now, I won't pretend this bike is perfect. It has a couple of drawbacks that stood out to me. First, the weight. At 76.7 pounds, it's on the heavier side. While this isn't a huge issue during rides because the motor does most of the heavy lifting, Carrying it upstairs or loading it into a car can be challenging. If you're someone who needs to store it in an apartment or transport it often, you'll notice the weight right away. The second thing would be the assembly. While the package says the bike is 80% pre-assembled, there's still a bit of work needed to get it ready for the road. I'm not the most mechanically inclined person, so the setup required some patience and double-checking on my end. To be fair, they do provide a toolkit and instructions, but it's something to be aware of if you're not familiar with bike assembly or don't have much experience. One other thing to keep in mind is the noise level. When you push the motor on tougher inclines or under heavy loads, it can get a bit noisy. It's not unbearable by any means, but if you're looking for a completely silent ride, you might notice it. Lastly, while the motor is powerful for most scenarios, if you're planning to tackle extremely steep inclines regularly, you might feel the need for even more power. In conclusion, the CYCROWN Electric Bike for adults is a fantastic option for anyone looking for a strong, reliable, and versatile electric bike. From its powerful motor and battery life to its comfort-focused suspension system, it's a bike that truly excels at blending convenience with adventure. While it's not without its flaws, assembly and weight being the main concerns, it's a worthwhile investment for anyone who values performance and comfort. In my opinion, it's perfect for commuting and off-road exploration, and I'd recommend this for riders who need a bike they can depend on for multiple types of terrain. If you've enjoyed this review and have more questions about this bike, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more honest reviews like this, and hit that like button if you found this helpful. Thank you for watching.